morning everyone, and welcome back to the beginning of another weekly reading vlog, although this week we're going to be doing something slightly different. So I have seen on various people's channels videos in which they read like another booktuber for a week or for a certain amount of books, and I thought that was such a fun idea, and so this is what we're doing today. You will have already seen from the title of the video, we're going to be reading like Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction, one of my favourite people on the internet. She is lovely. If you for some reason do not even know who she is, I will link her all around down below, everywhere, so you can go and enjoy her wonderful channel. So when I was planning this video, deciding what I was gonna do, what I might read and things like that, I got in touch with Ashley and just said, you know, tell me, throw a few of your favourite books at me. I already had a couple of ideas. There was certainly one that I knew she definitely would name as her favourite book, and I'm sure if you also know Ashley, then you won't be surprised to see that one of the books I will be reading is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. It's definitely been on my peripheral for a number of years now, and I've just never got around to reading it. So I bought it earlier this year and thought it would be perfect for this video, and so it was the first one that I suggested to Ashley. I was like, obviously I'm going to read The Bone Season, but give me some more ideas as well. I'm planning on reading 3 books this week because I think that is going to be doable. 2 in paperback, with The Bone Season being one of them, and 1 in audiobook. And so the audiobook is Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. So this is Kingdom of Souls, The Last Witch Doctor, which I don't know if you can even see that, but this is a first book in a fantasy trilogy, and as you know, I've been loving my fantasy recently, so I think I'm gonna really enjoy this week because I've got 2 fantasy books here. It's going to speak to my soul. The final book that we'll be reading this week is The Furies by Katie Lowe. I actually already had this one on my TBR, so that was perfect. I didn't need to go and buy another book. And last night, so I decided, oh, I'll just start reading the books a little bit early and kind of see how I get on. Kind of thinking I would read maybe like 1 chapter of this book. I ended up reading like 115 pages. Really enjoying this one so far. It's giving me all of the Secret History vibes. I love The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and this is very much giving me all of those feelings. So far we have our main character named Violet, who has had a tragedy in her family, and she's now attending a boarding school. And she's very much used to being a bit of an outsider, not really having many friends, and at the boarding school she makes friends with kind of the slightly cool outsider group that seem to have a kind of secret relationship with one of the teachers, the art teacher. She's very cool, and she's got this kind of group of students that are kind of a bit of an elitist group which she has selected herself. So yeah, if you've read The Secret History, it's like exactly the same as that. Also, at the beginning of the book, someone has been murdered, and so yeah, literally I do wonder whether the author was heavily inspired by The Secret History, or I mean this one may have come first, I don't know, I'll have to have a look, but yeah, it is basically The Secret History at the moment. So in order to fully feel like I'm giving all of my effort into this, today I decided to channel my inner Ashley, and you may notice, I mean, you may not if you really don't care about this kind of stuff, but I actually have done my makeup differently today because I thought, hey, I'll do my makeup like Ashley, and oh by golly, I forgot how hard it is to do a winged eyeliner. I haven't done that kind of makeup in years. Literally cannot remember the last time I did it, and so this morning I was like, oh. And you know when you're doing a winged eyeliner and you think to yourself, I could just add a little bit more here and a little bit more here, and then you keep going, and you're just like, now it just looks like crap. I had to control myself and stop when I thought it looked somewhat okay. I'm definitely not going to get too much closer to the camera because you'll definitely see how bad it is. So I've gone with an Ashley inspired makeup, and I've also gone with Ashley inspired clothing. If you follow Ashley on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere like that, you'll know that she's very much a kind of cottagecore, fairy, very earthy tones, all that kind of stuff. And so I've gone with my best effort. She wears a lot of really nice long flowing skirts. I only have one, it's blue, but I feel like, you know, we're just going for a vibe here. Stand up so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Slight change of location. So on the top we've got a kind of flowy white top. It's kind of cottagey core, I guess, is it, maybe? And then on the bottom we've got my only flowy long skirt, which I think it's okay. I think they work together quite nicely. I feel like I want to go and run around with like a basket in a field and pick some flowers. So I think that maybe is the vibe that we're going for. So today we're gonna have a really nice cozy day. We're gonna be reading. We're gonna be making a cake because it's Mark's birthday tomorrow. It's his second lockdown birthday, so I do feel a bit sorry for him. So I'm gonna try and make a chocolate cake. I haven't made a cake in quite some time, so he's hoping it goes well. Mark's a chef, so he generally makes most of the food that we consume in our house because he does it very well, surprisingly. We're just gonna have a really lovely day, so I'm gonna go and make a cake now. Come along with me. Look at my apron! I forgot I had this one. This is definitely cottagecore vibes, so I mean, we might have just hit peak cottagecore here, so take it in. Let's bake a cake. I'm not feeling confident about the cake at all. I think the cake tin is too small for the amount of cake that is now in it. I've put it in the oven and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's just gonna go right over the top. So disaster, that's annoying. Also, some of the ingredients I needed, didn't even have them. So if this goes well, it's actually going to be a miracle. Just gonna have some breakfast now and listen to some more of Kingdom of Souls. I'm really enjoying it so far. Basically, the main character is a girl named Ara, and she is from like a descendant of two powerful kind of witch magic lines, yet she hasn't been able to get magic herself, and something bad is happening in the place where she lives. Children are going missing, and in order to be able to find the children she just needs some magic, and so she's taking some somewhat questionable routes to try and get some magic so that she can help the people that she lives with. I'm really enjoying it so far, but I will check in with you later and we'll see how well the cake has gone. Poor Mark, the last time I made him a cake I dropped it on the floor, so I don't know if he's ever going to get a good cake from me. I do feel a bit bad, but oh well. I'll speak to you later. The cake situation is not looking good. I really don't know what I did wrong, but it's very soft. The batter for it was like so runny, but in the instructions, the recipe, it said that it should be runny. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it for a bit, see if it sorts itself out. If not, we'll just cover it with a load of icing and hopefully it will still taste all right. Now I'm just gonna sit here and do some more of my embroidery. I'm really enjoying these. Like, I know it's like already got a pattern on it, so it's kind of cheating, but like for someone who's never done embroidery before, I'm finding these really, really fun. Also very like therapeutic when you just want to like sit and focus on something and not think too much. Very much a nice thing to do. I don't think I'll film much more today, but I'm sure I'll check in with you again tomorrow. Morning everyone, welcome to Monday. I didn't really film anything yesterday because we were just celebrating Mark's birthday. The cake, not good at all. Mark tells me that it was a nice tasting cake, but I don't believe him. I can't actually taste or smell anything properly still since I had COVID last October, and so I just have to believe him when he says that he thought it was okay, but I really don't know. The texture was completely wrong. Anyway, I thought I'd update you on the books. Basically, I'm nearly finished with the Furies. This has been a real page turner. I said before that it gave me the Secret History vibes. Like, the more I read it, the more it's doing that. The manipulation between this group of girls and the main character is just incredible. Like, I really enjoy reading stuff like this. If you want to read The Secret History but based in a UK girls boarding school, this is exactly the book you need to pick up. I love the connection between what's happening in the story and then the things that the girls are learning in school. So they're in these like classes, these classics and literature classes where they're learning about Greek mythology and all this kind of crazy stuff that's happening in Greek mythology, and it just so beautifully lines up with the crazy like kind of bad things that they're doing outside of the school. I definitely recommend looking at the content warnings because there are quite a few things in here that I would imagine would be triggering to certain people. Having been a 16-year-old girl in school with groups of friends, like some of this stuff, it just really rings true. Like the manipulations, like you don't see it, I think, when you're that age. Like you just want to seem cool, you want to be part of cool gang and all that kind of stuff. Oh God, I realise how old I sound when I say be part of a cool gang. Like, You don't want to seem like an outsider, but that can definitely lead you into doing things that aren't right, and that is what's happening with the main character in this book. Something else I really love is the way that the main character and then you as the reader are kept somewhat in the dark all the way along. Like, you kind of feel like you know what's going on, but it always feels a little bit like the answer is just around the corner, and these girls that she's friends with are just keeping things away from her. She hasn't quite cottoned on to what is actually going on yet. It's clever. I'm really enjoying this one. So thank you, Ashley, for recommending it. I'm definitely going to be finishing this one later. And then the other book that I'm listening to is Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. This one I've got about 6 hours left of. Also enjoying this one, but probably not as much as The Furies. What I'm really loving about this one compared to other fantasy books that I've read is the real focus on familial relationships. So the relationship between the main character and her parents, so her mum in particular, there's like a real thing going on there, and I don't think you see that all that often in fantasy books. Like, quite often, like, the parents, either one or both of them will be dead and like not even in the picture, but in this one, like, the main focus of the book is kind of the relationship between her and her mum, which I'm finding really interesting. I love the magic system, the ideas of the gods and how they get their magic. I think that's really clever. I must say, this book, I mean, I think the audiobook is about 16 hours long, so I'm over halfway through now, but it has been like action-packed, like, all the way through. I like got to a certain point and I was like, wow, this feels like the end of a book. Like, it could be the end of the book because what was happening was pretty like extreme. And then I looked at the like timing on how much was left and I was like, oh, there's still a lot of book left. I wonder what else is going to happen. Yeah, if you like a book that's pretty like fast paced and lots of stuff kind of happening, then I would definitely recommend this one. So yeah, I think I'm going to finish The Furies later potentially, and then we'll move on to the Bone season, which I'm really looking forward to. And then hopefully, I mean, it's Monday now, so I think I'll hopefully finish this one by the end of the week. I mean, I'll give it a good effort. It is over 500 pages long. Could I do 100 pages a day? Let's see. I'm adding an extra little challenge into this one. So I'll check in with you guys later. Have a good day. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. This week has flown by. I've had my final assessments for a 2.5 year long diploma that I've been doing, and I got my results yesterday and I'm so happy. I am going to be celebrating with all the celebrations this weekend because I got a distinction, 91%. I was so surprised when I got that result back and so happy because I've put a lot of work in whilst doing a full-time job over all of that time, and so it's nice to feel like that's paid off. Anyway, I thought I'd update you on all of the books. So I finished The Furies on Monday, really enjoyed that one. My little summary on Instagram was that if you like The Secret History and Pretty Little Liars, then this is the book for you because it feels very much like a mashup of those two things. And I really enjoyed Pretty Little Liars. I don't know about you, but I thought that show was crazy but fun. I finished listening to the audiobook of Kingdom of Souls yesterday, and I didn't love it as much as I hoped I would, as much as I was enjoying it in the beginning. I think the second half of it kind of lost its way for me, and I just didn't feel much of a connection to any of the characters. It kind of felt like the author was really pushing the plot so that there was so much happening, like literally, you know, a big event would happen and then suddenly it was on to the next thing and then the next thing, and it was like constantly pushing the plot forward rather than spending time like building the characters and the relationships and the kind of world. I mean, the world was good because the kind of African culture and the gods, the magic system, that all came through really well, but I just lacked that connection with the characters, which I feel like I'm learning I really need that in a book. Pacing was just a little bit off for me, but I did enjoy it. I just don't think I would continue on with the series. I gave it 3.5 stars, so sorry, Ashley. However, I have started the Bone season, so I started reading this one on Monday evening. I'm about 300 pages in, so I'm going to read another 100 pages today, and then hopefully I'll finish it on Friday. Loving this one now that I've fully got into it, because by God, this book was complex to start out with. There's literally like a dictionary at the back of the book to tell you what all the words mean, because there are so many just made up words and like words that you wouldn't necessarily know of in this book. And so the first 50 pages I was like, what is happening? I don't understand. And so I had to keep flicking back and forward to see what these words meant. But now that I'm in it, I'm like fully invested. I love characters. An incredible magic system in this, and I just don't know how to describe it. Basically, it's clairvoyance, so people being able to contact spirit and dead people and all of that kind of stuff. Our main character, Paige, is able to do this, and she's like a special kind of clairvoyance, and she's called a dream walker, so she's able to affect other people's auras. That was probably a very bad description on my part, but I am loving it so far and I can't wait to finish it. I think I may actually purchase the next one so that when I finish this I can move straight on to the next one in the series. So it's now Thursday, which means tomorrow is Good Friday, so a day off. I'm definitely going to finish it. I'm going to do a load of filming tomorrow as well. It's just going to be a nice old time, and we're going to celebrate as well with my achievements. I'm so happy, and so I will check in with you again tomorrow or maybe Saturday once I finish the bone season, and that will be the end of this vlog. Welcome back to Saturday. I have been reading away this morning and I've finished the bone season, and I didn't actually realise that this one, the bone season, is actually only about 450 pages of this one, and then there's a novella called The Pale Dreamer. I think actually the prequel kind of, I wish I'd almost read it before the bone season because it explained a lot of things in like much simpler terms. For at least the first 50 to 100 pages of the bone season I was kind of like completely confused, but in The Pale Dreamer it just explained everything a lot more. So yeah, I'm glad I've read both of them, and I've already ordered the second book in the series, so I'm really looking forward to reading that one. Hopefully that will arrive soon. I bought it on eBay secondhand, so we'll see how quickly that gets here. So yeah, that's everything from me for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do let me know if you would like me to do more videos of this kind where I read like another booktuber. I've really enjoyed it, and so I will speak to you all next week. As always, I will leave all of my links and everything I've mentioned today down below. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!